I'd like to call our town council meeting for June 8th to order. Hit my gavel. Let's start with the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And also just taking a moment for a moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here tonight, Town Council, and any visitors or guests that we might have tonight. Thank you so much. If you are a guest, a member of the public, and you signed on so that you are able to speak or address the council, you can unmute now and state your name and address or business, and you can address the council.
This is George Martin. I'm
Hello.
How are you? It's good to see you all. I'm representing Martin Industrial, which is property at the corner of 46th and Lafayette Place.
Hello, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else.
Oh, is it time for public comments? Because I'm happy to.
Yes, it is.
Okay, very good. We've mentioned this before, and certainly Rod's been very helpful in an issue that seems to be getting worse along Lafayette Place. This is particularly in the block south of the intersection of Lafayette Place and 46th Avenue. The properties on the Riverdale side of the street, by and large, auto body and truck repair, mechanical type of businesses. Been in conversation with many of the tenants and property owners in that area as well, and have noticed that it's getting out of hand, the extent to which those businesses are double parking cars, trucks in Lafayette. I've had occasion where I've waited minutes to get by while a mechanic was working on a car parked in the street. This is obviously a violation of I believe both the county code. It's also a violation with respect to parking of the Edmonston ordinance. However, these properties are in Riverdale. Not to mention that ongoing thing that I've mentioned to Rod before is these businesses and the garbage that they have blowing over onto our property. The town's gone to an extent to deal with this, putting in trash cans. The Edmonston side is very beautiful. The rain gardens are beautiful. It's very soft, the softest industrial I've seen. And unfortunately, the Riverdale side is not as nice. And I can tell you this is something that we have owned and managed these buildings since 1970. And we have always been concerned and aware of the proximity of these industrial buildings to residential, further down Lafayette and immediately behind it. And as a result of that, as a rule, we don't lease to auto body shops. We don't have that type of tenant. They tend to do what is happening on the Riverdale side. And we have been successful in leasing to softer businesses, service-oriented businesses, computer-oriented businesses. And we're proud of this because we appreciate what it's like to live near industrial. And what we're frustrated by is the inability to get Riverdale's attention on this And as we've said, I believe my father's mentioned this a couple times, annex the place, you know, get those properties as part of Edmonston. First of all, get their tax revenue, because quite honestly, Edmonston serves them with the police going down there and patrolling. We serve them by cleaning up the trash that blows over. There's a lot of reasons that I think the town has a compelling interest in getting that resolved. My other concern, and the reason I spoke to many of the property owners there, is that when I see this congestion on Lafayette, I do get concerned about emergency vehicle access. We're kind of at the end, kind of tucked away in the back, and there's not a whole lot of ways. You can go down 46, obviously, but oftentimes that's as bad. But if we had a medical emergency and we needed to get an ambulance quickly to one of our buildings for an employee, I would be disturbed to believe that it could hamper their ability to get back. And you know, Rod talks to me a lot about the initiatives they're doing, you know, the town's doing with respect to kind of beautifying the industrial. And we're all on board with that and love everything that's going on. And we just think that dealing with Riverdale side is going to go a long way to really improving that part of town.
Thank you. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate the fact that you're here and you're addressing us, because that is one of the things that we need. We need input from you, and I thank you. We had a business meeting with our businesses, and you were there. So thank you. We know you're interested, and thank you that you lease to soft businesses. Thank you so much for that. I want to open it up to the council first, to if you have any comments in reference to Mr. Martin's address.
I think he's right on with everything he's saying. Riverdale is screwing up that area back there. They're a mess, and I walk a lot back there, and they double park. You can't get by. And if there is an emergency, 46 is the only option. And there's, you know, and I love that you do not rent to auto repair. I love that. We have enough of them in here, and they're a nuisance. They are a total nuisance. So thank you, sir.
Welcome.
So one of the things I also want to mention is we definitely notice it from walking up and down the road. We notice it. We've reached out to Riverdale, and they have agreed to a meeting. We're going to meet with them. We're going to walk with them and kind of point out some things, because they are our neighbors. They're a part of our family. And but it seems like they don't access those businesses back there. So we want to kind of open it up where it's easier for them to access it and understand the heartburn that we go through. So we're going to meet with them and walk the neighborhood and let them see what we see on a constant. So hopefully, I believe something positive will come out of it. I believe so. So we have good relationship with them. We just need them to look at the eyesore that we see. Thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
And that's happening this week. So we're right on it.
Very good. And you know, if ever there's an occasion for, I know Rod is friends with the town manager over there. The owners of those buildings, I from what I understand, are fairly remote landlords. They have brokers who lease out for them, and oftentimes, especially in this market, which is very healthy, you can lease to the softer service-oriented businesses are out there. They're looking for space. The auto repair shops, these are the types of businesses that there are areas that are better suited for that. And you know, some gentle advice to those building owners might also be in order, that that there's a goal to do this. And quite honestly, it's been my experience. We're able to command higher rents from these softer service-oriented businesses. They tend to have office in them. They have employees. They're better for a lot of reasons, not the least of which is how they take care of the property and the rents they're willing to pay, because this is their primary business location.
Yeah, yeah, that's good stuff. And maybe when we have strategically planned another business meeting, we can bring them in and talk about those things. Because that's
That'd be
good.
excellent.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much for giving me the time to speak.
Greatly appreciate
Appreciate it.
Yeah. You can feel free to stay on or sign off at your leisure. All right. Is there anyone else from the community? If so, go ahead and unmute. All right. If not, we will move on with our agenda. The next item, which is old business, is the final consideration of ordinance 2022-OR-04 to amend the annual budget for fiscal year 21-22. The council has met in a work session, and I ask, is there a motion to approve the consideration of ordinance 2022-OR-04?
I'll make the motion.
Stated. Thank you very much, Ms. McCulley. Is there a second? Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Any discussion, questions? If not, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Thank you. The next item is the final consideration of ordinance 2022-OR-05, amending the town's tree ordinance and creating a tree board. Is there a motion to approve?
I so move.
I make a motion we approve.
Thank you so much, Ms. Tuberville and Mr. Johnson. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Thank you very much. That was the budget, and that was the tree. The next item is the final consideration of ordinance 2022-OR-02 to authorize a speed monitoring system in Edmonston. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
All right, Ms. McCulley, is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Any discussion? All right. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 All right, and we'll work out the kinks with the contracts later. A new business minutes, May 3rd, the work session, May 3rd, our closed session, and then May 11th, our regular council meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve our work session, closed session, and regular council meeting minutes?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Ms. McCauley. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. All in favor, please indicate by saying
Aye.
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 Great, we're moving right along. The next item is the consideration of award of bid for the installation of 10 rain on Gallatin Street in the amount of $47,923. And this comes from a PGC Stormwater Management Grant. We gained understanding during our work session, but Mr. Barnes, would you like to expound at all?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. This is subject to when the motion should include preparation of contract by the town attorney. So this is professional landscape maintenance. It's the company we've been working with for some time. The great news is the cost is almost half of what the estimate was for this, and so we're going to have some budget to do some additional activities. This also is the grant that we partnered with the National Audubon Society, so they are a partner on this, and they'll be coming in to help us with engaging the Hispanic community, particularly on planting the plants in the garden as we develop those gardens in the fall. But other than that, we will, this is our grant for Gallatin for the gardens. It also includes, while they won't be built yet, but later this fall, the sidewalk is part of this design. And so the sidewalk will go in on that street. And then in our next grant is 7 rain gardens on Hamilton Street, and then also a sidewalk there. So happy to answer any questions and excited to continue to be successful with Chesapeake Bay Trust and Prince George's County Stormwater Management Program. This will bring us to a total of 40 rain gardens in the community. And once we do Hamilton, we'll be at 47. So my goal is to get to 50. So we're going to get there, I think. But the impact on the stormwater management, I think, is significant, and obviously it is working in areas not just in the industrial park, but on Decatur Street and on Crittenton, and we're really proud of this accomplishment in our efforts to be green.
Excellent, thank you. Any questions or comments, Ms. Chester?
Rod, can I ask a quick question? You mentioned that because the final cost is so much lower than the original estimate, we'd be able to spend money on other activities. Would those include other rain gardens or other kind of
It has to have the
development,
same,
or would it be like activities like events or?
yeah, it has to have connection to the Gallatin's Rain Garden project. So without amending the budget, we could amend the budget, but so it would be additional plants, looking at additional rain gardens potentially there on Gallatin, and how we can spend the dollars through outreach, and yes, activities that result in that outreach.
Could there be rain gardens in other locations, or all of the funds have to be spent on Gallatin?
On Gallatin.
Oh, okay.
Without amending the budget, yeah. But we'll take a look at that, and while Chesapeake Bay's not closed-minded to amending the budget, they don't like to necessarily, because it does change, lots of documents and bureaucracy. But if we can, they're very flexible within the confines of what the project is. So if we can do some more things on Gallatin, then we certainly will.
And one more question: Will the Audubon, because we're partnering with them, will they create more of those signs and that kind of educational?
Yes, yeah,
plays?
the signage is a component, and so they will. Number of those signs will be placed in the rain gardens in various locations.
That answers your questions, Ms. Terrific. Yes, fantastic. So, I'm sorry. So the motion is for the consideration of award a bid for installation of 10 rain gardens on Gallatin Street in the amount of $47,923. Is there a motion?
Make the motion.
Thank you, Ms. McCauley. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Chester. Great. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Thank you. Thank you. The next item is the consideration of approval of pandemic hazard duty pay for staff. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make the
I
motion.
make a motion to approve.
All right, Mr. Johnson, motion, Ms. McCauley, second. All right. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Thank you. All right, next item is the proclamation celebrating June 19th as Juneteenth. Is there a motion to approve this proclamation?
I make the motion we approve.
Second.
Thank Johnson and Ms. Tuberville, was that a second?
Yes.
All right, great. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 And approved. The next proclamation is for celebrating June as Pride Month. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make
I
that
make the
motion.
motion we approve.
McCully and Johnson, thank you so much. You're a wonderful team. Is there, no, second? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Great. Motion approved. Yay for our first Pride Month. Wonderful. All right, our chief, I don't see him. He has been out of the office. Yep, I don't see him. Chief is not here, and we did not ask for another officer to represent this evening. So we will move on to our town administrator report.
Tried to be brief, Your Honor.
Thank you, council. I'm sorry, Mr. Barnes. Thank you, council, for your motions and approvals. Mr. Barnes.
I'll try to be brief, Your Honor. But one thing I did have a question. Do you want to combine your July work session and town council regular meetings? The work session would be July 5th, which is the day, Tuesday after 4th of July. And if you want, we can move that to the July our regular session meeting, which is July 13th at the time like we did tonight, if that's agreeable.
How's everyone with the 5th? Is that a problem? Are you out partying on the 4th?
No, I don't. It's not that we're out partying on the 4th. It's that there can often be a pileup of other things as a result. So I'd be in favor of moving it.
You'd be in favor of moving it?
Yeah.
To the second week.
13th.
Right.
Mhm. I'm not so in favor of that, but I will do it.
Anytime's good with me.
Okay. Ms. McCully, Ms. Jester, you're good either way?
I'm good either way.
You know how much I drink, so I'm good either way.
Again, it's not.
So let's email, okay?
Okay.
But we'll combine it either way. It's no need for two, right?
Right.
Because we're going to go.
This is our last virtual
Right.
month as we go back to live in person in September. So,
And we do have the option to talk about that and change it should be necessary. Okay, council. Thank you, Mr. Barnes, for that, though, that reminder.
yeah. And then the last few things I just wanted to talk about are some different dates. July 1st is the fireworks on the bridge potential. We have added, you all met Asha Cole. She is our new social media intern. She'll be working all through the summer on getting a social media campaign set up for us with the branding and implementing the recommendations from our brand new study. Please, if you haven't provided any feedback on the economic development analysis study and you want to, please do that this week and get it into me so I can get it to Zach. Unfortunately, Zach, our planner from the Park and Planning is leaving them, and so he won't get to completely finish out, but Sam White, his boss, will continue to work with. But Zach's been such a great partner with us and giving us ideas and suggestions. And one of the things that's going to come out of this agreement is recommendations on grants and on connecting to other entities that can help us achieve some of the goals and objectives that you all will establish in this report, or that you will have in this report. So I'm very excited about that. We have the June 18th Saturday, we're going to do a cleanup. We need volunteers, 9 to 11. It's really focused on particular areas on Kenilworth. and getting ready for our visit from our American Bloom advisors, which are coming in on the 23rd and 24th. Juneteenth is a holiday, so we'll be closed, the offices on June 20th in observance of that holiday. We are working towards a business meeting again in July over on Buchanan, and then setting up our quarterly meeting for over on 46th Avenue later this summer. And I think, what about to walk and talk? Did we want to set another one of those events, Councilmember Chester?
Wonder if we should try a different time, like maybe try Saturday morning and see if we get more people out at that time. Just sort of keep experimenting until we kind of hit like a time that people are like, yes, I can make it. I think.
Right, and not necessarily a Friday or a Saturday. After we try the Saturday, maybe let's try another day.
Yeah.
Or
Mhm.
Okay, super. We'll work with you on a date. All right.
Mhm.
That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Council members, council dialogue. Are there any council members that have any information they'd like to provide or questions? All right.
Only thing I heard is over there at the Sunoco, on the other side of that fence, the local yokels kind of like pretty much living back there, and all they do is sit back there and drink beer, excuse me, and go out and panhandle, get more beer, and it's a real mess back there. And also the gazebo down at the rec center restored power. So like if you have an event, you got some power down there. That's all I heard.
Oh, right. Yeah, we did just get power under there. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Any other council dialogue? Okay. This weekend is our summer conference at MML in Ocean City. We have 3 council members that are going. We have the mayor and 2 council members that are going, and our town administrator that's participating as well. This is really for those who might be listening in. The council has agreed to or is interested in mental health training to assist during disasters. We've been dealing a lot with mass shootings and so on, and we all know that we have Hands Across the Bridge, where that was one of the focuses about our mass shootings and the stress that our children are under, as well as the parents. And the truth be told, all of us are under a different type of stress now. So mental issues are meeting us at work, at the grocery store, and wherever we are. So the town council, a few of the members have decided that they will accept some of the free training there. And thank you, council members. Council members, we also talked about a doggy day for, I just called it Doggy Day. I don't know what we're going to call it, but we're talking about a doggy day in the town of Edmonston because we appreciate our pets. Yay! And so we're looking for those who might want to volunteer to assist on the rec council with that doggy day. I want to thank the council for walking. I know we mentioned it, Miss Chester and Mr. Barnes, in reference to our walk. We reinvented it, or we started it again, and I'm hoping that more residents will come along. And also, I want to say to the council, it was really good to go to the businesses and see what's happening. And for them to see us, I think that was a wonderful thing. It wasn't negative. I think it was a positive. They were shocked initially, but as they meet us and we begin to establish relationships, I think we're going to have businesses that are, I hope to have businesses that are compliant, or at least know how to reach out and ask questions and do what they're supposed to do. So thank you for being there, and I invite other council members to come on along. And that's pretty much all that I have. If there are any questions, comments, other than Mr. Barnes, are there any other questions or comments for me?
Just as a quick to thank you. Oh, so
go ahead.
Just that I just wanted to thank you all for walking with me with this walk and talk. And I did have kind of at first I was thinking of it in kind of like a joking way, but maybe it would be a good idea, maybe it would work. The way we do a yard of the month for residents, to almost do like, a business of the month, and give them a sign to put out there. And it could be like, if they're improving, like however incremental.
Yes.
And I maybe
Most
we
improved
talked, I
student.
know, Madam Mayor, about people can be competitive, and we can use that competitive nature.
Yes, I totally agree. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
We must have mental telepathy
Right.
because I have Asha designing a sign that actually does that with a check, building pride in
Yes.
and so
Yes.
then you would place that at that business and
Mhm.
as a thank you for what
Yeah.
they were
For
doing.
doing what you're doing.
The last time, I'll give you an example. The last time our judges were coming, Mayor Gant called up a local business and said, "We've got judges coming. Can you do something about making your look?" And they went out and they created such an amazing frontage on their property. They got written up in the report as being a great example. So,
Yeah.
so it's something that Mayor Gant has talked
Yes.
about.
Yay, Hillary. Yeah. Excellent. Yep.
Good.
Mhm. I think we're a great council, mayor and council. Thank you. All right. So,
I still have,
yeah,
Mayor,
Council
a couple
Dialogue.
of items. Just we are going to be featured in the spotlight on the red carpet at Maryland Municipal
Oh,
League.
all right.
That they sent out a request instead of doing the way they've done in the past. They are featuring I think it's about 15 communities from all different regions of the state, and so we'll be one of those featured on the red carpet on Tuesday night, I believe is when that is. Mayor Gant will get her picture taken with the group, and it'll be a fun event. They aren't doing their big banquet. They're doing the governor's going to speak, and then a reception, and then the spotlight. So please, those that attend, please try to be there for that activity. If you haven't noticed, Bartlett Tree is in the community. They're doing the tree removal of the dead trees. I had a resident come in and they were concerned. They lost one of the trees in their right of way that was dead, that they didn't necessarily feel like it was ready to be taken down. But once they got it all down, they did see where it was dead and what it could have fallen, but they missed that shade. So, but if they missed the shade that tree provided, the little bit that it had left in it. And so if you see the trucks out there, they are cleaning up. A lot of times they're leaving the wood for the people to use the wood if they burn wood or are that. So I was glad to hear that too. That's a great thing. So we're off and running on that program. And if you get any questions or comments and concerns, please let them know what's going on or to direct them to Town Hall. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
I had one last question. I haven't heard anyone asking or complaining about the night work with the water main and
Neither.
the others. No? Okay, well, knock on wood.
I did have conversation with one resident, Alex, that lives over by, he's the first house on the, after you go across the levee towards Hyattsville. And he said he did hear some noise, but did not bother and was happy and glad that they were going to make it a concerted effort to do it in a short short timeline and moving out. And so I was glad to hear that. I think what helped was the publicity that we put out and everybody understanding what was going to occur, and they could kind of prepare. I hope that's part of it.
Right. Now tonight, listen to your phones. See some calls because Hillary's.
Oh, I knocked on wood. I knocked on wood.
So, Miss Avery, I just wanted to know, do you need to highlight anything that we missed? The caravan, right?
Yes, we have 29 students in the community that are either graduating from college, high school, or promoting from middle school to high school, or elementary to middle school. And on the 24th, we'll be driving around town, passing out gifts, and celebrating their success.
And it'd be great if the council would ensure that they were there. Excuse me.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
What time are we going to meet to start the caravan?
Well, I think we have a 5 o'clock start.
So what
Yeah.
time? We have a 5 o'clock start. So what time do you really want us to be there?
4 o'clock, 4:30 at the latest,
Okay,
so we can pull out at 5.
sounds great.
Yep.
Super. Thank you, Miss Avery.
Sure.
What about the people? A lot of people be at work.
On Saturday?
Friday.
On a Friday.
On a Friday?
Yeah.
Most of the graduates, they already know that we're coming, and if they have any issues, they let us know. Last year, we had maybe 2 that couldn't be there, and so we went a little earlier. So most graduates say, I won't be home, I will be home. Because that's who it's for, really, the graduates.
So I'll be
Yeah.
finding out and I will be able to have that information. So that 29 may not all occur on that day, but as mentioned, a little bit earlier, maybe the evening before, but majority of them are aware and know the time frame. So we'll get most of them that evening.
We have 3 of those graduates are within the town staff, and so we'll do that activity ahead with either a little lunch or something that we do here at Town Hall for those folks that can come in for that. And so that'll lighten that load just a little bit. But as Avery said, she's working extremely hard to coordinate so that the young people are there at the home at that time. And if they can't be, then she knows when they can be.
All right. Anything else for the good of the order?
I know, it's all right. Here comes the storm.
I hear the thunder, yeah.
You know, my daughter came in from, she said it was really bad coming from Howard County.
Oh, my dog doesn't like it. Oh,
Well, I think we better get off of this meeting so that, we'll be safe from the storm. So I'll accept a motion to close this meeting. Ms. Ferguson, you've been quiet this evening. Is there anything you'd like to say for the good of the order?
No.
Thank you. Thanks so much. All right. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
I second that motion.
Thank you, Ms. Chester. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Great. All righty. Oh, shoot. Did it again.
Oh, did you forget
What'd you
something?
forget?
I did. I needed to go into a quick closed session. Darn.
Man.
And it's a quick one, too. I mean, just like really quick.
All right,
So
Sue
what
Ellen,
happened,
how do we
Ferguson?
reopen it?
We need you.
You can just have another reconsider. I would reconsider your
Reconsider the motion to adjourn.
Yes.
Is there a motion to reconsider the motion to adjourn to open the meeting again?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Ms. McCullough.
I'll second.
All right, Mr. Johnson, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Like to go into a quick closed session to discuss a personnel matter. And not return into our regular meeting. Is there a motion?
I move that we go to a closed session but do not return to the meeting after.
I'll
You
second it.
moved it. Thank you very much. Is there all in favor? Nope, I didn't do it right.
No, that's fine. Right.
First and second, is there a discussion? Yes, ma'am. Ms. Ferguson?
I just wanted to know if you wanted me to stay or go.
Oh, no, you can go. I just want to give them some information, personnel matter.
Same for me, Mayor. Stay or go.
I'm just providing information, but you may not know. I'm providing the personnel information.
Oh, okay, so I'll stay. All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
Rod, do you need a ride home?
Oh, no, I'm in the car. I
Okay,
came,
because I know you usually walk.
yeah, thank you.
All right.
Small
I was going to send the mayor anyway.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Ferguson. Mr. Jamal.
10 minutes. 10 minutes, baby.
When I left the yard.
No, he just sent me a picture saying no pain. So I guess there's someone in his parking space. He called to have someone come and no one showed up.
How long ago did he call? I just talked to her a little while. She said,
I don't know how long ago he called, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give him your number. That way you'll know.
yeah, because she ain't said nothing about nobody called. And I'm at the barber shop. I could run out there and the guys will be out within an hour. That's what I'm trying to figure out what time he called.
Okay, I'm gonna give him your number. I'm in a meeting now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem.
I just don't want to be thinking somebody ignoring him. I know she was.
That's how he feels. Okay, I'm gonna give
I
it to
don't
you.
want to alienate.
All right, no worries. Thank you.
Russ is still in his space?
Yeah, he sent me the picture.
The same car?
Yeah, no, it's another car. It's a black car. Can you just send somebody over?
If I ain't got nobody out yet, they come out a little later. I leave the barber shop. I go out.
Okay, thank you.
Come on, man.
All right, bye-bye.
All right.
Sorry, the paid job just called, okay? All right, so it's just us, Mr. Rick?
Yeah, hold on for a second. Trying to make sure everybody's out. So it's me, Betsy, Mayor, Johnson, Hillary, Rod, Sarah, and me record. Okay, that's all. Let's go.
Super. All right. I just wanted to let you know that one of our police officers, Sergeant Young, went to interview in Bladensburg and to work over there, and he has been hired to work there. His last day will be like the 24th. So this month is his last month here in Edmonston. So I just wanted you to know there's some factors in it. He's just not a happy camper, I think. And he said he wanted more money, but he's just not a happy camper. You can't go to a municipality the size of ours and get paid what you get paid. So there's probably more to it. But I wish him the best. Sergeant Young has been here a long time, but I wish him the best. So I just wanted you guys to know the chief informed me about it. And we're not going to meet anymore this month. So I wanted you guys to know. Any questions, comments, concerns?
No, just hate to see him go.
Yeah. Me too.
He's been here a long time, huh?
Huh?
He's been here a long time.
Maybe 13 years, I think, Mr. Barnes. I think it's been like 13 years. You're muted.
Maybe I was going to look it up for you and tell you for sure, but I think it's 8 years, maybe going to be 9 this year.
Oh, okay. 13 was stretching it. Yeah.
Mayor, what's going to happen with, I missed a critical closed session with respect to the chief, I think.
Oh, what's going to happen with the chief?
Well, I'm just wondering, like, is the chief going to be in a position where he's going to try to hire someone new,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He
but
is.
then the chief won't be here?
Well, he'll be here for the time being. He's out ill. He's out sick. Who's on here? He had COVID, so he's out sick. But he will. I spoke with him today. He will do the. He's going to post it in Indeed. He's yeah. We kind of knew it a week ago or a couple of weeks ago. We kind of knew it, but it was confirmed today. Or
See,
yesterday. I don't know what day was.
I guess I'm confused. The chief is going to be the chief for a while?
No, hold on, please. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Sergeant Young's been here. Sergeant Young's been here since 2014. So he's finished. He just finished his 8th year. I'm sorry, 2013. He finished 8 years in October. So he'll be. It would be 9 in this coming year.
Okay.
Well, I hope you all take my comment as
I'm sorry. The chief will be here for a little while. Yes. Yes, just a little while. He will be able to go ahead and advertise and do all of that. Yes, Miss Chester.
So I felt like I was a bit confused when we were discussing the part-time code compliance officer position that was supposed to supplement and complement Officer Beal as the code compliance manager. But then when Officer Beal had the credentials to be a patrol officer and he got moved into that position, I wasn't clear, like, just because he could be a patrol officer, I wasn't sure why he had to be. And then we lost our full-time code compliance officer. And then seemingly we were going to have this temporary part-time position, and then that just became like a permanent position. So I'm wondering if maybe my math is wrong, but I thought we were kind of had an extra officer because Officer Beal was now a sworn officer, not a code compliance officer. So when Officer Young leaves, do we not actually have the right number of patrol officers? And maybe what we need is a full-time code officer to go with Rosa. And so then we have like the full, at least like 1.5 code officers, because we have so many issues around business violations, parking violations. So I just, before we rush and hire another patrol officer, I'd like us to just back up and review what it is that we are supposed to have sort of as a full complement of our police force, because I feel like things got a little,
yeah.
Didn't feel like we were actually moving people around appropriately necessarily.
So we have Sullivan,
Mhm.
1, Young, 2, Van Buren, 3, Shepherd, 4, Beal, 5, and
Ortiz.
Anna. Did I miss somebody?
Ortiz.
Ortiz. Yeah, that's what we have. We have Sullivan, Young, Van Buren, Shepherd, Ortiz, and Beal. That's the 6. That's 6, right?
Right.
Minus young will be down to 5. So
But
we
that's
do.
what we had when Officer Beal was a full-time code compliance officer. We had 5 patrol officers and Officer Beal. And then
Mhm.
he moved over and nobody got bumped off. We just added and then we had 6. And
So
so
we have. So we
Now
just.
with 6, we have our full.
But Bill was doing both.
Yeah, but with Bill moving over for 6, now we have our full staff of police officers. And hasn't our code, isn't she July 1st going to start being full-time?
Who?
Anna, in our new budget, she moves to full-time starting July 1st. Is that what's it?
I don't know that that's agreed upon.
that's what I'm
Correct, no.
saying.
That's how the budget was approved.
Right, the budget,
That wasn't like the initial
but it's
plan.
not agreed upon.
I don't know that he won't be bringing that back to you. He's planning July 1st for her to be full-time.
Yeah,
So-
I just
and there's
feel
I
like
don't know.
things
I
are moving
can't-
around without actually us following our plans.
Well, no, well, it's budgeted for her to be full-time. And
So
from
that's
what I
separate.
understand, and we approved the budget, her as full-time July 1st. And that's what I was told by him, that she would be full-time July 1st. And it's in the budget, and it's in the budget for 6 police officers. When Young leaves, we'll be down to 5. So we need to hire another officer to make it 6 officers, which is in the budget. And Anna being a full-time code enforcement officer. But what we also have to remember that every police officer on the force is also a code enforcement officer.
No, I understand that. No, I get that. I get that they can do those roles. I just felt like we added a person without it really being what we had intended. And then we just sort of got stuck and here we had all these people.
You're correct, Hillary. You're correct. It did appear that way, but it wasn't.
All right. I always thought it was 6. I always thought it was going to be 6 officers and 1 full-time code officer. So to me, that's the way I thought it was supposed to be. And I know when I was on the council before with Tracy, we had 6 officers and a code enforcement officer.
So the thing was, what I wanted initially was a code officer and a half, because we have so many code violations. We have so many code issues. I wanted an officer that was able to be code. So I wanted a code officer and a half. And that's what we were going for. Anna is sort of extra because she was going to be the half. It didn't turn out that way because Bill was promoted from code to an officer. We need a code officer. I mean, years ago, we only thought we needed a part-timer, but we need a code officer and a half right now.
Yeah, we need somebody to cover the weekend.
We need, well, they have good hours where they're doing weekends, I believe.
Yeah, they are out there on weekends.
There's just so much. I know Mr. Barnes bugged the Mr. Barnes, oh, this is not recorded. Mr. Barnes bugged the hell out of me for one issue that was a code issue that he talked to code about. It didn't get done. And I mean, he complained and complained and complained. And finally, I said, enough is enough. But then we looked, when we walked, Hillary and Betsy, when we walked to the businesses, we saw everything. So there needs to be, we have to be adamant about these code violations. And then I think we can kind of calm down once we train our businesses. Nobody has been doing it for so long. Like, no one, not that they haven't been doing it, but it hasn't been our top priority and enforcing it. And we haven't had a chief that has done that. And we, the council, are the ones that are enforcing it now. And Mr. Barnes, we're the ones saying this needs to be done. And I must say, the chief is working with Bill, and Bill has cleaned up. I'm telling you, Buchanan looks so much better.
Oh,
My grandkids looks better.
It looks better, but it still
But
has
it's
a
a
long ways to go. But it takes
it is a
time.
lot.
And I will be the royal pain in the butt until it gets
Yeah,
cleaned
no.
up and Ingraham gets cleaned up. And, you know, I'm with Mr. Martin. Riverdale needs to clean up their act. We can ticket whatever Riverdale puts on the streets and we can tow it away. And I think we need to go in there even harder than we did on Buchanan Street. If Riverdale doesn't want, I know you're going to probably talk with the mayor and try to work things out, but if that doesn't work, we need to go in as a bunch of a-holes and start just ticketing and towing.
I'm gonna let you lead.
I'll be there.
Mayor, I was just wanting to say, we never had 6 police officers in the last 8 years. Never had them budgeted. Never had them budgeted. We only, the maximum positions we ever had budgeted were 5 and the chief. So we had 6 total in the police department in terms of officer
Right.
sworn. We've never had 6. We added 6 when Sergeant Beal, or excuse me, when Beal became a corporal, then he became our 6th police officer and his role changed dramatically. So I just wanted to make sure you, I think what Hillary was saying was correct in terms of adding that. And Betsy, we may have had 6 back in the days when you were here, but the
I think
actual,
she means 6 to include the chief.
I thought when Walker was here, I thought we had 6.
No, it was 6 to include the chief.
correct. Now it's 7,
yeah.
including
that-
the chief. And then
And so, yeah, maybe we can
part-time code
prioritize filling the vacant position with another person who will be very much, you know, focused on a code officer or code. I don't know, that'd be my suggestion. So then we would have,
Because one code and a half.
I tell you what, I still think we need the extra officers on the, when Sullivan leaves us, I would say that's when we get another code. Because we have Sullivan in there, he does nothing. He doesn't patrol the streets. To me, if we now want a code officer, Chief needs to tell Sullivan, you're now the new code part. You got to do code part-time, but we need the officers out there. Yeah, we need 6 officers on the street. We got 2 sitting in the office. One of them can be code. I don't want to give up 6 on the street. And I know we're stuck with Sullivan until whenever, but
well,
I think
any compensation, he told somebody that he's retiring in 2 years this week.
we don't have 2 years. But anyway, I'm not waiting 2 years. But
He told me 2 years later.
he told me 2 years when Walker left.
I think that we should go ahead and try to hire locally and allow Bill to be code and police.
But Mayor, isn't it a possibility that Corporal Bill could move into the sergeant's position?
It is. It
If he
is.
competes?
Yep.
Yeah, it is the possibility, but he can still be the sergeant and code.
I understand, but I'm just saying, you know, I don't know how the chief feels about that, but I would think he'd open it up to his officers to compete for the position. also.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I still believe he can be the dual, you know? Because I think that's what he's doing. Bill is the everything man. He's the everything man. And if we could just get him to focus on just the 2.
Well, I think the other officers need to step up when they see something going on that shouldn't, like a fence going up, they need to stop and put a stop work order on. They see a tree being taken down,
This
they
is
need
not
to,
that busy. Yeah.
so they need to step up their code. Now, do they need to stop, drive down the street and say, oh, this fence is, needs to be either fixed or replaced? I think that's Anna's position to do that, but the obvious things, they need to pick it up.
Yeah. You're right. So I just wanted to let you guys in on that. I'll talk more with the chief. I'll let him know that we need to ensure that we have someone that is code enforcement savvy, and find out about Miss Anna, whether she's going to be full-time or not. And Mr. Barnes will send you info. Cool?
Cool.
All right, good night.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
We have to have a motion to
Alright.
close now?
No.
No, just close.
We
Yeah.
don't need to make a motion to close.
Oh, okay, good.
Go ahead. Motion to close, please.
I move that we adjourn.
All right.
Close this session. Close the closed session.
Please indicate by
The
saying
motion before we went
Aye.
into closed session was not to just go out.
motion approved. Everybody have
Yeah.
a good night.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. See you later.
Good night.